Hello, it's time for a Combat Patrol unboxing. So it's a brand new month, which means we of course have a brand new delivery. Yes, it's delivery 7 and it's got some awesome models inside. So we get part 1 and 2 of the Aeldari Guardians, we get the Wraithlord, and we get our first shade paint issue. We also get that company champion, our last subscriber gift. So there's going to be a lot of fun videos to come. I'm going to be figuring out how I'm going to be doing the Aeldari Guardians. Probably going to build 1 or 2, maybe the weapon platform on camera. And then, of course, we'll figure out the painting guide when we get there. Looking forward to the shade issue, though. Going to be interesting to see what models get what shades. I'm thinking Space Marines will be getting mostly black. Tyranids, as we know from the premium kit, are definitely going to be getting the red and the black. And the Aeldari, again, could be both. Could just be the red. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that Wraithlord, I think, most of all. It's a beautiful model for its age, at least. But yeah, quite posable if you know how to chop up and change it around. Yeah, I've made a really awesome pose one quite a few years ago, and I saw it, I think, on eBay or Facebook Market. It was really cool. It was sort of in a stance like that with the sword raised up. Looked really cool. I kind of liked it. Sadly, I had to get rid of it with the rest of my Aeldari. Would have loved to have kept it, but who knows, I might be able to try to recreate it with this one. Right, before we hit the table, don't forget to, of course, do all the usual. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop me a comment down below. What's your favourite aspect of Delivery 7? Free gift, or is it one of the awesome issues inside? Like I said, I think the Wraithlord is definitely my favourite. Although the company champion is pretty awesome, he will be going towards my Blood Angels, sadly. Finally then, Combat Patrol Carnage is proudly sponsored by warbay.shop, your one-stop supply for all your hobby needs. They stock everything from new and used models for various different armies and game systems, to all your hobby supplies and gaming essentials as well. They're also stockists of Combat Patrol magazine and previous partworks from Hachette. So check them out, there's a link in the video description, and you can grab yourself some bonus issues as well as your next hobby project at a bit of a discount. Right, let's hit the table and unbox Delivery 7. So here we are, standard black bag, and inside, of course, a not so standard delivery. That's my post-it note, keep that to one side for my records. And here we have our models. So first off, issue 26, the Wraithlord, and that is an awesome model. Comes with that beautiful sculpted base, ghost glaive, all the different heavy weapons it can take. Really awesome. So there's that one. We have our paint issue, of course. So Caribou Crimson and Nuln Oil, plus a shade brush for us to use and apply these to our various models. Although I think for the Ultramarines, we're probably going to be doing some recess shading, so we'll be using our small layer or star brush for that, most likely. We have our Aeldari Guardians frames, part 1. So we've got the weapon frame and the main Guardian bodies. That's 23, and 24 we have the bases for our models, plus the weapon platform, and some leftover bits. We've got one set of legs, some pouches, and the close combat weapons for the Storm Guardians. And finally then, we have the Primaris company champion, who just comes with his instructions, which is nice, because the last time we had a free model, we didn't get instructions. So there we go. It goes together quite easily. He's only got, looks like 8 components. So yeah, 2 hands of the body, the head, 1 shoulder pad, the sword, base detail with his foot, and of course the other arm and his backpack. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. We'll go through that in just a sec. Right then. Minor adjustment to the camera and we can dive right in. So let's start things off with the company champion premium gift. Not premium, but subscriber gift. So everyone subscribed to this will have this model. I have seen some lucky people get 2. Kind of jealous. Would have liked one for both my Crimson Fists and my Blood Angels. I've also seen some people get 2 of the paint issue and 2 of the Wraithlord. That would have been even nicer, 2 Wraithlords. But yeah, there we have it. 40mm hex hole base there. And he's a easy build, twist off the frame kind of model. Perfect to represent a company champion for your command squad. Or even as a stand-in for the Emperor's Champion if you want something slightly different for your Black Templars, if you collect those. Luckily, Crimson Fists have been in the lore known to have their own Emperor's Champion. So yeah, he's usually the company veteran of the first company. So yeah, pretty cool model. Can't wait to build this guy and get him painted up for my Blood Angels. Right, on to our first issue, issue 23. So, our first new unit for the Aeldari. So we got the weapon frame here, so we've got all the shuriken catapults, some of the chain swords, we've also got the fusion guns and the flamers, which can be taken in the Storm Guardian squad. We've also got the shuriken pistols for the Storm Guardians, and the control for the weapon platform there as well. Grenade throwing arm, as kind of standard for most basic infantry kits. Then we got the main bodies sprue, so the backs of the torsos, all the different heads. So you got helmeted heads for Storm Guardians, helmeted heads for the regular Guardians, and you got some bear heads, which can be mixed and matched throughout. There are male and female heads, which match up with male and female torsos. So just make sure you pair those up. And you see you got all the torsos kind of attached to the legs now, which is nice because it used to be 2 halves of torsos and you had to glue them to the legs. It's nice that we just have to glue on the back part of the torso now and the extra leg and arms. Yeah, pretty cool. Extra large vein to signify, I think it's either for the controller of the weapon platform or possibly a leader. I have seen a few people make a leader because Guardians don't technically have squad leaders, but me, I do like to have at least one designated leader in squads. So without further ado, let's dive into the issue. So of course we have our build guide for the Aeldari Guardians. So you build up the bodies, then after that you're free to mix and match pretty much as you want. So there are enough helmeted heads for everybody to have helmeted heads, female bear heads, male bear heads, different gun pairings, and then we're showing how to construct the actual models. So you put on the back of the torso, the large vein, and we got a guy with a scope and a gun. And you got this guy here has the controls for the weapon platform. Then pretty much everyone else is literally stage 10. So yeah, there we go. And that's our heavy weapon platform there being built up. Pretty cool. Nice little model. Not too sure how easy it would be to pin in and replace the weapons. I know the older one used to be pretty easy. Looks like it's fairly the same sort of fitting, so I might do that like I did my last weapon platform. Next up we got the weapons of the Asiarni. So we got Prince Uriel there of good old Craftworld Iandan. And we've got stuck pages again. I'm so glad I'm not taking my issues to pieces. But yeah, look at the different Aeldari weapons, the different paths that the Aeldari can take. So path of the Outcast, path of the Warrior, path of the Seer. A little more detail about the Great Rift and the different halves of the Imperium. Aeldari unit names, ready to name our Guardian squad. Then we have a look at the Space Marine faction ability over moment, and we have ourselves another ripped page. A rather in-depth looking battle. We're in the middle of a battle, so we start at turn 2. The Librarian has retreated into a bunker. The Infernus Marines are struggling to hold off the Von Ryan's Leapers. And it's the important emergence of the Captain and his unit of Terminators that will help swing the course of battle. So yeah, pretty cool. And a little reminder of the over movement rule there as well. Alright, next, Guardian Squad Part 2 in issue 24. So we got our bases, of course, so 10 28mm bases, which again makes me want to put my Farseer on a larger base. So he matches in with the Guardians nicely. And the 40mm base for the weapon platform. And speaking of, there we have the weapon platform itself. So we got the optional part to make up the Serpent Shield, which is the Storm Guardians specific version of the weapon team. Gives them a bit of defensive shield while they're advancing. You got the Power Swords, which I believe you can take 5 in 10 as Power Swords. And then you can optionally take as well the special weapons, the Melter and the Flamer. So yeah, pretty cool. And as I was thinking about, where is it? Yeah, it should be fairly easy to clip off the bottom tab, or at least drill partly into that bottom tab, and then put a pin in, and you can easily make it so you can interchange the weapons. For the build guide though, we are building up just the star cannon, so let's have a look at the inside. So, of course, we're met with our paint guide for the issue. All over Mephiston red on both Guardians and the weapon platform. Abaddon black for the face mask and the weapons and any leather straps. Any models of bare hair also painted black at the bottom of the grav plate there for the weapon platform. White for the hair, Wraithbone for any bare flesh, Retributor armor for gold details, so there's lots of little gold details to pick out. Macragge blue for eyes, gems and lenses, etc. And another ripped page. And there we have our Guardians up to our current standard, and they are looking pretty good. They've even done white hair on a few of them, which is pretty cool. Yeah, looking really good. Moving on, we got some lore all about the fall of the Aeldari. So how they fell from grace to the powers of Slaanesh. We got a bit of information about the webway, the Eldar's specific portal way of accessing the warp. Back to the Imperium, we have a look at Forge Worlds and some of the different Forge Worlds there. Riser, my second favourite, Lucius. I think my first favourite is Metallica with their bone robes. And, oh, we're back to Bonds of Honor Part 6, so we aren't finished with Sergeant Askerton yet, and sadly we are not looking at any lore for the Silver Templars. So it looks like he'll be on his quest to get his lost rifle now. We got our battle record for our Guardians, so we can use the naming table in the previous issue, and our background roll there as well. And we got a battle here where we can try out the Guardian Defenders, so the Farseer has been separated. He's being stalked by a trio of Von Ryan's Leapers, and there's even spawn points for Termagants to arrive in. And we've got the Aeldari deployment zone down there. So, Guardians are deployed in 2 squads of 5 by the looks of it. One with a weapon platform, one without. And yeah, they're basically trying to rescue the Farseer and get him out of the combat zone. So there we go. Alright, on to our next issue, which is our paint issue, and we're finally washing our models. So, pretty cool issue. This is probably one of the few paint issues where I'm actually in a bit of a saving. So we've got Caribou Crimson and Nolan Oil, which are 2 shade paints that are usually about £4.50 each. Plus we have a shade brush, which is again another £5. So yeah, for the £9.99 of the issue, we are actually saving a little bit. So now it's going to be interesting to see how we're going to use these paints. So shading with Caribou Crimson and Nuln Oil. So first off, we have a tutorial all about how shades work. So shake your paint as usual, load up your brush, put a small puddle on your palette and then apply to your models. Try to apply it in one direction so you save tide marks. So being quick and consistent with your applications, allow to dry fully before you go on to doing any other details. How to recess shade and how to clean up with overspills. Then we're into our actual tutorial on how to use our paints. So for our Space Marines, we are recess shading a lot of our joints in the armors with Nuln Oil. Areas such as the gun weapons, levers and blades are getting an all over shade of Nuln Oil. Same for Purity Seal Wax, the Crux Terminatus and the book on the Chaplain on Bike. For your Tyranids, don't forget to also do the Carnifex on the Captain's base there. So Nuln Oil, we're shading all over the carapace detail, the red gun as well. And then Caribou Crimson, all the soft flesh, including the vents on the Psychophage, the tongues as well, giving them a nice pinky hue. And even painting Caribou Crimson on the wings, guns, and the tendrils there of the leapers. So from our Aeldari, we want to shade Nuln Oil over the white areas, being careful not to get too heavy pooling, as well as on the pouch there. And then we're doing Caribou Crimson on the outer robe. Yeah. So we're not actually shading the torsos yet. That's interesting. Maybe in a future tutorial. But yeah, make sure you we're doing the white helmets on all our Aeldari models. So yeah, that's our models up to this point. And they're looking rather nice. I'm going to have a lot to do at some point. Moving on to our read articles for this issue, we have a look more at Sam Han and their chosen tactics on war. We have a look at the different Aeldari gods and the Aeldari Pantheon, the Phoenix Lords, the Yin Khan, the Avatar Kane, and then we have our Tyranid faction abilities. So Synapse ability, making sure we're in range, Shadow of the Warp, which forces battleship tests on a lot of things, and we've got another tutorial where we're in the middle of a battle and we get to activate all our different faction abilities just to try them out. So yeah, pretty cool. Helping us learn our new abilities. So yeah, very handy tutorials. And on the back page, you've got a little reminder about the Tyranid faction abilities and what they do, when and how to use them. And finally then, we have issue 26, the Wraithlord. So, looking forward to building and painting this guy. Easily one of my favourite kits, even if it is an old kit. So we've got a nice scenic detail basis, some Aeldari structurage there, fallen down. And unlike most frames, this frame doesn't have numbered components, so you are going to have to just match up images as best you can, which I believe the paint guide, the construction guide actually does say and show. But yeah, we've got legs, arms, we've got 2 sets of arms, one bent, one straight. So you can mix and match the arms as best you want. Come on. Loads of extra details, so some tassels, loincloths, etc. There's fusion guns, which is an option, but we're going to be building with the shuriken pistols, the bright lance, and the ghost glaive. You even have a gun arm option, so you can have your Wraithlord holding the gun, which is pretty cool. Open hands, closed hands if you want to. And yeah, it's just going to be a really cool model. And it's going to be fun to build and paint. So let's have a look at how it goes together. So in the build guide, we're just going to be building the torso together there in the first stage. So we got the two halves, we got the joints, the arms, we got the joint for the head there, the backpack, and the power veins. Hip joint with the legs being glued into position. Choice of feet, so you got either flat feet or tippy toe feet, however you want to do it. So build guide tells us to use one straight arm and one bent arm, but you can choose which ones go which way. It's up to you. Add the loincloth and the or the groin plate there. We got little hip guards as well. Glue the head. You can choose to attach the crest if you want. Usually, maybe to make it look more of a leader if you want to have multiples of these guys. Then you got the hands there as well. We've got the shoulder mount, so you can put the bright lance on either side. You've got shuriken catapults and the ghost glaive. And if I can turn the page. That's in finished. You've got some optional extras, some base detail, all these little tassels as well if you want to. But yeah, I think I might keep mine fairly basic. When it comes to painting, we have a lot of intricate details we've got to try and work around. So get your base coat Mephiston Red down. Then we're using Abaddon Black to pick out all the vents, ribbings, and the plate where the head rests. Also coating the guns there. The underside of the Bright Lance there. The hilt of the Ghost Glaive and the back vents as well. Plus this little rune at the back. Corax White is used to paint the head. Screamer Pink, the loincloth, Lead Belch, the Ghost Glaive, and Retributor Armour, picking out the sigil on his back. Oh, damn it. And then we're moving on to our washes. So Carabo Crimson on the loincloth, Norn Oil on the white helmet, and we're doing Carabo Crimson on the blade. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. Nice powered blade. Next we have a look at Spirit Stones and their importance to the Aeldari. Oh, come on. So showing where Spirit Stones reside on your models. We have a look at Beyond the Veil, more about the Immaterium. So different warp storms as well. Then we got our collect article for the Wraithlord. So you can name it. We got his data record, and we can try him out and see just how powerful he is. So single battle mat, the Wraithlord deploys sort of off center. He has 2 units of 10 termagant, 2 units of 5 termagants even, prime and Von Ryan's Leapers to face off against. So yeah. Both players deploy their models as shown. If any Tyranid unit is destroyed, it respawns at its starting point during the Tyranid's next command phase. Tyranid player takes the first turn. If the Tyranids can destroy a Wraithlord, the Tyranids win. If the Wraithlord is still alive at the end of 5 battle rounds, the Aeldari wins. So that's going to be an interesting battle. And yeah, there we go. Going through the turn. So we see the Tyranids charging in. We also see quality control being terrible. And then we got our victory at the end, and we can have a look at what's next. 3 issues of the Aeldari jet bike, so we got pretty cool. I don't think we get our build guide until issue 28, and then we don't get our paint guide until 29. So we learn about relayering. We also get the core rules, so we're getting the full core rules of 40k, which is going to be interesting. We have a look at the Warzone Bastion, and we have command and movement tutorials to refresh. And yeah, pretty cool. So we're going to get 6 of these jet bikes over 3 issues. It's going to be very interesting. But right, that is it. I'll bring everything back in and give you my final thoughts for this delivery. So there we have it. That is delivery 7. And for you Aeldari players, this is probably going to be one of your more exciting deliveries, as you get that awesome Wraithlord and of course our Guardian Defenders. I think the jet bike's going to be a little monotonous. It's nice we're getting them all together, unlike when we did the Necron jet bikes in Imperium, where they were spread over so many different issues and we had so many games of just 2 jet bikes. I don't think we ended up getting the final jet bike till the 60s, and we had our first one in the 30s. So yeah, they really drip fed us a lot of stuff in that collection. It's nice we're getting everything all together so that we can actually have the combat patrol ready by the end of the next delivery. And after that, we're going to be looking at the Chaos stuff, so that's going to be interesting. So one more delivery of Aeldari, and then we're into Chaos Space Marine territory. So that's going to be a fun delivery. As I believe our first delivery is going to be the Dark Apostle, a paint issue, and then the 10 Legionnaires to go with him. Very chaos heavy delivery in 2 deliveries time. But yeah, first off, we're going to look at this delivery, of course. I think, yeah, it's a good delivery. You do get a good amount of stuff. The value is certainly there, even on the paint issue. That added brush really helps bump the value up a bit. Not so much of a saving on premium. You're just about breaking even. $11.99 for the issue. Maybe a little bit of a saving, but not as much as you would do on a normal $9.99 face value. Yeah, certainly the value's in it for the Wraithlord and the Guardians, as these are both fairly expensive kits. The Guardians are new kits as well, so they're updated sculpts compared to the older ones. The older ones were definitely slightly chunkier. These guys are a lot more detailed, finessed, and yeah, got all the options that you would have normally had to buy metal kits in order to make up. Because Storm Guardians used to just be an upgrade kit where you didn't even get enough to build them all as basic Storm Guardians. You only got, I think it's 3 chain swords, 2 power swords, and you got 1 weapon. So not enough in each kit to make a full squad. You had to buy 2 kits, which is really annoying. But it's nice that they are now fully enclosed in the 1 kit. But yeah, you do get a bit of a saving on this because it's fairly expensive. 34 quid, I think it is, for the box set. But over 2 issues, you're definitely saving. The Wraithlord, I think, is closer to 40. He does show his age as an older kit, but he does hold up pretty well. And definitely for £10, it's worth grabbing a couple of extra issues. I'm still waiting for it to come back in stock in places, and I'll definitely pick up some more, as I plan to make a Iyanden-focused force. Other than that, though, we do have that free gift of the company champion, who is, yeah, fun little model to add to our collection. We don't get any actual rules to utilize him in games or anything, but he's just a nice fun model to add to your Space Marines. If, like me, you've already got a larger Space Marine force, you can add him to one of your existing armies. He's going to look really nice in the red and gold of the Blood Angels Veteran Company. And he'll look quite nice alongside my Blood Angels Combat Patrol from the Get Started set, which I do need to finish getting around to filming stuff. Hopefully after February, maybe if my schedule clears up a bit. I'm still working on planning out Middle-earth March though, so do stay tuned for news on that. That's pretty much all I can say. I don't want to go on for too much longer. It's a solid delivery, so ratings-wise, contents of the models, 5 out of 5. We get some awesome models. The awesome updated Guardians and the classic Wraithlord are pretty cool, plus that bonus Space Marine. Paint and hobby supplies. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. The brush and the fact we get 2 shade paints is pretty good. Normally we get a brush and 1 shade paint. So it's nice that we're actually getting a couple of shade paints and we're utilising both in the tutorials. So it's going to be pretty fun when we get around to that issue to update all our models accordingly. Gaming supplies, we don't actually get any, so I can't give a rating to that. Magazine content though, some really nice interesting articles. The paint guides look really good, and the build guides are very helpful as well, especially when it comes to the older Wraithlord kit, which isn't numbered. So yeah, 5 out of 5 I think for that. So all in all, I think the delivery is going to get a 5 out of 5. Not much I can say. I will of course put pricing as usual for those of you interested to know the savings. But yeah, that's all I can say about this delivery. Really good delivery. Some fun models. I'm looking forward to building pretty much all of the Aeldari stuff. I'm going to go edit this video together and build my company champion, so I can paint him for my Blood Angels at some point. But yeah, all in all, a solid looking delivery, and we're going to have some awesome episodes to come for Combat Patrol Carnage. Right, if you enjoyed watching this video, please do consider giving a like. Drop me a comment down below. What's your favourite part of this delivery? As I said at the start of the video, definitely the Wraithlord for me. But yeah, let me know your favourite part, and let me know what you're looking forward to building and painting the most. But with that said, all what's left to do is to say thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time on more Combat Patrol Carnage. Goodbye.